Welcome to the StarCraft Brutal Campaign Tips and Tricks section. Here I'll be going through the armory upgrades and laboratory research I valued on my Brutal Campaign walkthrough. I've done the Brutal Campaign 3 times, so I have a fairly good way of getting through most missions, and I have also found out which upgrades I like. We're going to start with the bunker, or the base section really. I like everything in the base. You use it in 85%, 90% of all missions, so they're really good to have. I get both upgrades on the bunker. The more firepower density you have, the more effective your wall's going to be. I like the range upgrade just because it's nice to be able to get a void ray back, as the video shows, or maybe just a few other units. The AI likes the siege tanks right up on the limit of your bunker range, so sometimes you can even pick those off. I love the missile turret because in Brutal and Hard, air is always being sent to you, and having the Mutalisk around, or having the turret to fight Mutalisk and Void Rays, really helps out. So I value an increase to life and an increase to the little volley. Okay, I went to turn down the sound, or the volume. Here I get the SCV upgrades. The double repair speed is helpful, particularly on the mission you have the Odin, although it can be used all around, and the advanced construction is really helpful for when you're setting up a quick expansion. You can drastically cut down the amount of time it's going to take to set up your new expansion if you send out, 7 or 8 mineral SCVs. The fire suppression system is just fantastic because you don't have to worry about a fire destroying a building, which can be done against Terran. Zerg and Protoss don't have any kind of equivalent to that detrimental effect, to the best of my knowledge. And it'll bring it up to 50% life for free, so that's pretty nice. And the orbital command, get this early on. All your command centers will start out with an orbital command, and they'll have scan and mule, so you're just boosting your economy real quick right off the bat. For infantry, I pretty much exclusively go Marine and Medic. I hardly ever use a Firebat, Marauder, or Reaper, so I got the upgrades for both of them. Stim Pack, obviously a given. Combat Shield, great choice. I like this because early on you can just get 1 barracks and a reactor, and you can pretty much fulfill every need for infantry you'll possibly have. And Stabilizer Medic Pack because efficiency is always good. Use for these. I suppose if you're fighting Zerg, extra armor would help out. Armor is fantastic, and that's a really cost-effective upgrade right there. But because I go reactors with my barracks, I never have the option for these 3 unless I intentionally get a barracks with a tech lab to get one of these 3 units. So I don't really value anything here. Although that doesn't mean they're not good, it's just I'd rather put my resources into some other more specific unit for the level. In vehicles, I fully upgrade my siege tank and my Goliath. Siege tank just because bonus damage is particularly helpful on Protoss levels, and Shape Blast is very helpful when you're moving up with infantry, so you don't carelessly kill your own people, which is never a good thing. The Goliath, firing both weapons simultaneously is fantastic. You effectively double the firepower output of your unit when you're fighting a mixed ground and air army, and just increasing the range makes them that much more effective. It actually allows your Marines and Medics to get in front of your Goliath wall, so your more expensive unit in the back and your weaker, less durable unit is in the back, and your cheap, beefy Marines are up in front. So it's a really good choice to go ahead and get that. Diamondbacks, I never really gave them a chance. They seem too micro intensive, and I want a lot of my campaign brutal guides to be very easy so that a normal skilled person can get through the mission without having to be this amazing micro master. And there was my phone. How unprofessional of me. Looking at the Vulture and Hylian, these are cutesy units. You can do a lot of harassing, but they're fragile, they're moderately expensive, and I don't tend to build a lot of units out of my factories. In fact, on missions where I'm like, okay, I want a siege tank, usually I'll get a siege tank through the mercenary. They'll be more they'll have a higher firepower, they'll be more food efficient, and it pretty much eliminates the need for me to worry about a factory other than to get the requirement for the starport. In starships, I like the Viking range. I'm a big fan of that. The area damage, not so much a fan. It's highly unlikely that this clustered up Mutalisk group will ever attack you. Usually when you do get attacked by Mutalisk, they're 2 or 3 or 4 in strength when they come to your base, and if you have 1 or 2 missile turrets, not only do you save a ton of money on that defense, but you also don't use gas to get the Viking, so it's cost effective, and missile turrets are just all around better. I get the battle cruiser. I love battle cruisers, and I like the defense matrix because when my line of battle cruisers, my massed battle cruisers are attacking, they're slow. So if one's getting focus fired, particularly in the center, just clicking him and pulling him back to the behind your lines, it doesn't work out because they're so slow. But with the defense matrix, you can go ahead, click him, pull him back behind your imaginary wall of battle cruisers, and then go ahead and tap D, and they get a bonus temporary 200 hit point boost, which a lot of the time makes a huge difference. Banshees, I don't get them because usually I mass battle cruisers, and I like battle cruisers more than Banshees. There's my phone again. The Wraith, it's a cutesy unit. I can see a lot of potential for it, but I'd rather just go for a big, beefy army than a few cute harassing units. Medevacs, I got the Hercules this time through for the first time, and I liked it a bit more than the Medevac because, like I said before, my barracks are reactors, so I pump out Marines and medics. So there's no real need for me to get a Medevac. It's redundant, they're a bit fragile, and just 1 Hercules will completely nullify the need for it. Down in the Dominion units, nothing. A Thor is, they're cost effective, and this immortality protocol, what they don't tell you is it'll cost you 200 gas to use it every time your Thor goes down and you want to rebuild it, which is a lot of gas. I'm not sure exactly how much a Thor costs, but you're almost replacing the gas cost to get a whole brand new Thor. And a lot of the times in a mission, your limiting reagent, chemistry term, is gas, not minerals. You have a ton of minerals, not so with gas, so I don't value it. And a ghost, no. That's about it, no. Okay, moving along. In the cantina, for mercenaries, I get, all of them. I like them. I like the flexibility. I like the ability to, once your army gets decimated, or should your army get decimated, you can go, oh, that's unfortunate. And if your food allows it, and you had a bunch of minerals banked up like a lot of people do, you can go to your imaginary mercenary tavern, we'll call it, and go click, 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 blah, 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 and you have a kick-ass army in 15 seconds. Hopping down to the laboratory, I like to do my Protoss missions early on because if you're going for the brutal achievement with the Kerrigan picture, you're gonna need to do them anyways, and it's nice to have all that fancy tech early on. For ultra capacitor versus vanadium plating, either or, they're pretty much paralleled in one sense. They're not as diversified as, let's see, tech reactor or orbital strike. Either one, it doesn't really make a difference at all. Microfiltering versus orbital depots. These are very, very handy, and you can actually save build time, which equates to more minerals or gas by doing them, because your SCV doesn't have to spend, half a minute building each one. Excuse me. They don't have to spend half a minute building each one, so it does save you in gas or minerals. But burping a lot today. But efficiency equates to more. And I'm burping again. God, this is not good for a video. Efficiency equals more. So instead of 4 gas per trip, they're bringing home 5 gas per trip. And a lot of times, gas is your choke point, your bottleneck, your limiting reagent when you're going to big tech armies. So I got microfiltering because